$38,000 on chairs.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the most I've ever spent on one thing in my life, but the chairs are awesome. We bought like the best ergonomic chairs that we could afford.
Ooh.
And so these incredible, like $780 a chair, but you can sit in there and go, oh my god, that's so much money. But then when you've got all these guys that sit there and they'll work for 12 hours and they're sitting in a chair all day, it's really hard you can't expect them to be really productive about what they're doing when they're sitting on a crappy old chair.
Yep.
What else about a space provides the best or most effective environment to work in?
Well, when you're a freelancer in New Zealand, and I assume it's similar in a lot of countries, when you provide someone with a quote for work and they go, so where do you work? And you go, from home. And they go, oh, why are you charging me $10,000? And you go, because that's what the work's worth. And they go, but you don't even have any overheads, you know? How do you justify your time? Shouldn't it be like half of that? And so one of the things that's quite funny, that's something that happens a lot in New Zealand when a freelancer, no matter how good they are, when they talk to a client, it's crazy. And so part of what we wanted to do is make every one of our residents feel like they were hugely successful. So when a client walked in here, the client would go, wow, it's doing good. It justifies that invoice. And so it's kind of like a little bit of smoke and mirrors, because you've got to make it look like they've spent a fortune to be here, but they can't spend a fortune to be here because otherwise their business won't work. So there's a lot of things we do behind the scenes to make that possible. So we're really efficient around how we operate things, energy, power, and we've got a real sustainability sort of strategy around what we do around recycling and how we use stuff. I suppose what are the things that we do? We provide ultra fast internet, which is from the countries that you come from. It's like, everyone does that.
Yeah.
But ours is, we've probably got one of the fastest internet links in New Zealand. So 100 meg internet speeds, which.
Oh no, I'm just wondering why internet in Australia and New Zealand is so crap compared to our countries.
Well, scale.
Yeah.
And good money's been put into your infrastructure, and there's no monopolies. So there's only two providers in New Zealand. In fact, only one who owns all the cabling. And so that one company, and then there's only one cable out of New Zealand. So everyone in New Zealand needs to connect to the world, but there's only one way to do it. So when you have one connection, you can charge whatever you want to charge. But we went and found a local internet provider who wanted to go against all the big guys, and so our internet's faster than pretty much anything you can get from any of the big corporates in New Zealand, and it's been a massive asset to our residents being able to not be restricted by the fact that all their clients are actually out of New Zealand, and all the work they do actually sits in the cloud and sits in Google and stuff, and they have to have good connection speeds and stuff. So it sounds like a non-event, but internet is critical to anything.
Yep.
Especially when you've got workforces all over the world. We provide. You need that social lubricant of really, really good coffee. So everything some co-working spaces charge you for every interaction that you have. So you use the printer, there's 50 cents. You bought a coffee, that's $4. You booked a meeting room, that's $20. We don't do any of that. We kind of go, here's the rate. You do whatever you need to do to make your business successful, and we'll provide all the stuff. Just go hard. Use whatever you need to use. And so we provide everything. That's beer and coffee and printing and internet and booking meeting rooms, whatever you need to do. We wanted to make it, the priority for us is that you focus, as a freelancer or as a small business, you focus on your business being successful. We'll focus on the stuff that helps it be successful. So it's just making life easy.
Sweet. And it sounds like, based on what you said about the guy from Switzerland, that even if you can't afford it, you will find a way to help them, and they can help you in other ways.
Yeah, usually we've had some amazingly generous people like that. Are you guys familiar with Jelly Week? Jelly Week. So if you guys search jellyweek.org, it's a worldwide co-working movement. So there's about 280 participating co-working spaces around the planet. And we're one of the, founding members of that last year, and it was really interesting to connect with these other spaces, and we shared how we operate our business, the types of applications we use to make the business successful, best practice, all these kind of things. And and it's really neat because then you've got a direct connection to the freelancers in that space. We go to we had one of our residents go up to Berlin, and so she went and stayed with one of these other co-working spaces.
Beta House?
Yeah. It's a great space.
Cool. I started an entrepreneurs group there, and
really?
it's still going.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's a massive scale. It's 300 odd people there, and we like the idea of the communities being smaller and being curated. So, like the funny thing, we had green space. Nothing against green space in New York, but it was great idea and great concept. We had one of our residents who worked there for 6 months, and he didn't know the person sitting next to him. And that was an interesting thing for us because we want all of our residents to know each other. They don't have to be in each other's business, but they have to understand what each other's doing, and they have to kind of be wired to want to talk and interact and ask questions, and so for us it's all about driving that community engagement.
Knowing your neighbor.
Yeah, it sounds so obvious, but it doesn't happen that much. And a lot of co-working spaces that I've been to around the world where I was almost kind of asked not to communicate. But it's like, what? The whole point of it, why did I leave my house? I should just work at home.
Yeah.
At least I don't have to wear pants. And we do have pants optional Fridays here. I've been the only one that's taken that up. But it's surprising how many people don't turn up on the Friday. But yeah. Anyway.
Do you know any good co-working spaces in LA? I tried to find some.
No. To be honest with you, most of our partners are through South America. And up into Asia, Manila, Europe, Japan. We've found it really challenging connecting with co-working spaces in the States. Don't know why. It's just one of those things.
Well,
so,
we'll try and find some and send them back to you.
Yeah, it's not saying we're not keen to, because but we're trying to find countries that our residents want to work in.
Yep.
And so the goal for us is that when we set up a partnership with another space, that it has to be somewhere where people want to go and they want to holiday there, they want to interact with new customers, they want to kind of interact with the culture.
Yep.
And and for us, a big part of it's Asia. So, yeah.
Sweet. Do we have a tour?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
No, it's all good.
So obviously we're hitting that after hours part now, and everyone's kind of heading on to some different events and stuff. So we're all open plan. So we're a little bit different to some other co-working spaces as well, where they often have more part-timers and casuals. We have a lot of full-timers here, so people that they've got a dedicated desk, they're here all the time, and so they sit out around the peripheral area, and our part-timers and our hot desking guys kind of drop through in the middle. And so there's no difference between what a full-time resident and a part-time resident or a nomad or a casual can do in the space. It's just how long they're here, so they can use everything that they want to use. And there's some really diverse mixes of people in there as well. Average age is about 37. Most of our residents have at least 5 years freelancing experience in whatever they do. Really good balance between male and female. Most of the women are highly motivated, very organised, keep us boys in line.
What are some of the interesting projects or businesses that are working here right now?
We had a really amazing collaboration that's just happened with a couple of our residents that is a new product for hospitality, and it was a really cool collaboration. So we've got Dan, who's got a company called Dine Shoot, and he specialises. He's a fully trained chef, and he's a very successful chef, as well as a really good, really successful photographer and videographer. And we had another resident, Tim, who's an amazing iPad developer. And so these two guys kind of came together and they created a whole new way of you interacting with food and viewing food at restaurants and stuff. When you go to the door of a restaurant and you kind of see those menus or maybe some wax food and you go, that's pretty crap.
Yep.
These guys totally slicked that whole thing up. So you see videos of how the chef actually makes the food. You see, like, you know, just a really slick presentation. So these guys launched that product called Dine Tube. Tube.
Sweet.
And that's been really, really successful. So they've ended up having a whole bunch of restaurants around New Zealand and now internationally that want to have it, because it's a really neat way of engaging people on the street, and it just uses an iPad. It uses simple technology, but in a really slick way of being delivered. What else have we got? Yeah.
We should talk to him.
Yeah. Should talk to Danny. Looks like he's mid focus.
Yes.